I've reviewed a couple of Okinos cases in the past few months, and today I'm going to be taking a look at their newest option, the Okinos Cypress 7. Okinos has made a name for themselves with their Aqua lineup of cases, which all feature the popular panoramic style layout, and they all come in at fairly affordable prices for what they offer. Okinos is now jumping into the wood-themed PC case market with their Cypress series of cases. As of right now, the Cypress 7 is the only wood-themed case Okinos offers, but it seems like they're using the same naming convention they used for their Aqua lineup of cases, that's the 7, 5, and 3, and so I'd have to imagine that by choosing to name this case the Cypress 7, that means there could be smaller versions of this series coming. But in this video, I'm going to go over all of the Cypress 7's base specifications and features. I'll discuss what it was like to build in this case, I'll show you the thermals I got when using this case in a build, and I'll go over all of its pros and cons. For starters, the Okinos Cypress 7 comes in at just under $80. It's a mid-tower case that can hold up to a standard ATX motherboard. It features a mesh front panel that comes with 7 slats, where the 2 outermost slats are walnut wood panels. It also sports a separated power supply compartment that also comes with a mesh panel to help with airflow. And the tempered glass side panel is attached with hinges so that you can easily open and close it without having to remove the panel entirely. This panel utilizes magnets to secure it in place when you want it closed. The Cypress 7 comes with 4 of Okinos' Hurricane Series 120mm PWM fans pre-installed, 3 on the front panel of the case, which are set to intake air into the case, and 1 on the rear panel of the case, which is set to exhaust air out of the case. These fans operate at speeds of up to 1,500 RPMs, and Okinos says they can generate airflow of up to 67 cubic feet per minute. Now these are non-RGB fans, but it is common for wood accented cases to forego RGB lighting, as the type of builder who will opt for a wood-themed case likely doesn't want RGB lighting anyways. This case offers room to install 2 140mm fans or 3 120mm fans on the top panel of the case, and you can install 2 120mm fans on both the motherboard panel and on the bottom panel of the case interior. The Cypress 7 also offers ample support for liquid cooling options, as you can fit a 360mm radiator on either the top panel or on the front panel of the case. You can also fit a 240mm radiator on the motherboard mounting panel in this location here. However, mounting a radiator in this location will significantly reduce the length of graphics card the Cypress 7 can accommodate. As it stands, the Cypress 7 can house graphics cards up to 415mm long, but with an AIO installed on the motherboard panel, you will be limited to using graphics cards no longer than 280mm long. The Cypress 7 also offers space to house up to 5 different 2.5-inch SATA SSDs, including in 3 locations behind the motherboard panel and 2 in the storage bay located in the lower power supply compartment. I just used a single NVMe drive in my build, so I didn't need to utilize any of these mounting locations. The Cypress 7 also comes with 2 magnetic dust filters on both the top and side panels of the case. For the front panel connections, you get a power button, a reset button, a headphone and mic combo jack, 2 USB 3.0 ports, and a single USB 3.2 Type-C port. Building in the Cypress 7 was as straightforward as possible. Following the typical gaming PC build that is standard today, there really isn't anything too tricky about building in a mid-tower case, especially one that has a fairly traditional layout like the Cypress 7. The build I put together inside of the Cypress 7 consisted of an AMD Ryzen 7 5700X 3D processor, an ID cooling CPU cooler, an ASRock B550 Phantom Gaming 4 standard ATX motherboard, an RX 7800 XT graphics card from Gigabyte, 16 gigabytes of DDR4 memory from Team Group, a 1TB NVMe SSD, and an 850 watt power supply from XPG. The case is very roomy to work with, so I didn't really run into any clearance issues with this build. The only minor issue I ran into was in trying to fit my HD audio cable between my power supply and the cutout below the HDO audio port on my motherboard. My power supply nearly reached the top of the bottom compartment, and there was just barely enough room to get the HD audio cable through. This isn't a huge deal, as I could have routed the HD audio cable through one of the slots further to the right, but it does make the leftmost cable cutout on the bottom panel of the case difficult to use. The 3 pre-installed fans on the front panel of the case come daisy-chained together out of the box, so they only require a single fan header on your motherboard to connect those 3 fans. The rear fan isn't daisy-chained to the front panel fans though, so you do have to use a separate fan header on your motherboard to connect that one. Okinos does provide 3 Velcro cable straps pre-attached to the case to help keep the cables organized as well, and that helps quite a bit with cable management. Overall though, the Cypress 7 was easy to build in, and it's roomy enough to where most builders will have no problems working in this case. For the thermals, I tested this build in Cinebench's multi-core CPU test and tracked the average CPU temperature. It should be noted that for this system I used a $15 CPU cooler from ID Cooling. This is a single tower cooler that features a smaller 93mm fan and a 3 heat pipe design. So this is definitely on the smaller side for a single tower cooler, and honestly maybe a bit light for the 5700X3D. But even with this budget-oriented CPU cooler, the 5700X3D never went above 83 degrees Celsius. I believe the 5700X3D doesn't start throttling until it hits 90 degrees Celsius, so even under full load, this setup didn't come close to getting hot enough to where it was a problem. If I would have used a bigger cooler, I probably could have kept max temps down under 80 degrees, but that's no fault of the Cypress 7, as this case's stock configuration with the 4 pre-installed fans and the mesh front panel will provide adequate airflow. I also benchmarked the system in Metro Exodus's benchmarking tool to see how hot the system got when the GPU was under full load. My RX 7800 XT stayed under 60 degrees Celsius under that full load. So all in all, the Cypress 7 itself will offer good enough thermals for the majority of builders. The Okinos Cypress 7 has a lot of positive features that will make it a worthy option for anyone looking for a new case for their upcoming build. For starters, its walnut wood accenting will automatically make it an option worth considering for builders who are looking for a wood-themed case. Not to mention its $80 price tag makes it one of the more affordable wood-themed cases currently on the market. And despite its lower price tag, it still offers everything a system builder could need to build a high-end system, including offering more than enough room to accommodate the largest graphics cards and house bigger AIOs and CPU coolers. The 4 pre-installed fans are also a huge plus, and as we showed you with the thermals benchmark, the Cypress 7 offers solid cooling performance out of the box. There are some minor cons though. If you are looking for a wood-themed case, the Cypress 7 only features 2 wooden slats on the front panel, whereas other options like the Fractal Design North, the Leon Lee A3, and the teak wood version of Corsair's 4000D offer full wood front panels. It should be noted though that those cases either cost a lot more. The Fractal Design North and Corsair 4000D both come in at about $140, or they come in a smaller and more limited package like the Micro ATX design of the Leon Lee A3. The other minor con that I found on the Cypress 7 is that they use a multicolored cable on the HD audio connector. This isn't a deal breaker, but the past 2 Okinos cases I've reviewed have come with all black cabling, and so I'm not sure why they opted for the uglier multicolored cable for the HD audio cable on this case. Ultimately though, there aren't any significant downsides for the Cypress 7, and its extremely low price tag combined with all of the features it offers should make it an excellent option for system builders who are looking for a wood-themed case. And after using it in this build, I would definitely recommend it for users who are looking for a case that meets that criteria. But that does it for this review. If you have any questions on the Cypress 7, post them below, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. I've also left a link to this case on Amazon if you are interested in purchasing it. That is an affiliate link, and if you purchase anything through that link, I may earn a commission, which really helps this channel, and any support is greatly appreciated. But you can also just go straight to Amazon and type in Okinos Cypress 7 to find it that way as well. In any case, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time.